I basically was going through my room, it was a mess, and I found all of my art stuff. So I was flicking through and I was just like, oh, look at all my old drawings, aren't they cute? Not really, but I was like, why don't I redraw one of them just for the sake of it? So I came across my mermaid one that I did in 2012, which is about 5 years ago, and I was just like, yeah, let's do this. I think it'd be pretty cool. So yeah, moving on. I start off drawing like the basic outline of the mermaid. Now, my mermaid is basically naked. I wasn't too keen on drawing shells when I was younger, and to this day, I still don't like drawing shells to cover the nipples. So I was just like, go all natural, you know, nipples, hello. Okay, that's kind of awkward. Never mind. And then I just started going around and I was fiddling around with the face. With the original, I didn't have much to go off of as I focused more on the body than I did on the face. So I could give more detail to the body as there was more detail to the original. And I didn't want to wander off too much with the or like with the original drawing. I wanted to kind of stick to the same kind of style that I drew when I was younger, if that makes sense. So yeah. Um so basically I was like trying to fix it up and then I was just like, hold on, why don't I just make another layer and draw right over it and it will be all smooth underneath? So that's what I did, which makes so much more sense. So yeah, I was just redrawing like right over it. That's why it's gone green now, so I can see properly of what I was drawing over. Um, and then yeah, I started making it all smooth. Now I did 3 fingers. I think the original had 2, but I was like, that just 2 looked weird, so I kept like 3. Um, in regards to the face, I kept on like changing it. I wasn't too sure on how I wanted the face, but I looked at a few elf references and I was just like, okay, I guess I can kind of do something like that. It looks kind of cute, so why not? With the tail, now it's hard to draw like a good butt on a mermaid, like because they don't particularly have like a butt anyway, and it's like a fish half going on, so it's kind of hard to draw a decent behind. So that's why she has a little bit of a flat batty, but there's nothing wrong with flat batties, you know. The just you just gotta have to live with what you got. And she has a flat batty, and I'm sorry for drawing it flat, but it's kind of hard to draw a big batty on a mermaid. Either way, I then go on to doing like details and adding in scales and fins and whatever those little breathing things are on the neck and stuff like that. Um, with the tail, I kind of wasn't sure. I didn't like the tail that I drew in the original, so I started trying to find something that I could kind of draw it like, and I couldn't. I was trying to go with like a kind of frills kind of look, which I think I achieved. I don't know. I think it looked alright. But then I started messing around with the hair. I was actually very indecisive with what I was drawing and how I drew it in the old one and how I was going to draw it in the new one. I decided to get rid of the what is it, coral, and just stick with the bubbles and the rocks that I had in the original. As the original didn't have any colour, and I do like colouring in my drawings, so I decided to just mess around with certain colours now. I thought I'd give it a more mystical effect by doing like a purple, blue, greeny kind of thing going on there. So I was just going around and fixing up certain bits, adding in the colours and just seeing what I end up with. Um, Sorry, if you can't hear me, I've got a cold, so I'm sorry if I'm not very clear and if you can't hear me well, but it's been a while since I've done a video and I've had to speak over it, so I apologize, okay? I'm not perfect. Jeez. Um, so yeah, now I'm just like, I'm still debating on whether I like these colors. I decided to do like a darker purple with darker blue, but then keep the same kind of light greeny, turquoisey, whatever going on there, and start moving on to the shading. Now, I did a free tone shade, which is you get a darker color than the original color, and you basically go into where you think all the shadows would be, and you just color those bits in, which I kind of went over those black lines that I did and just went over those, so then that's where all the shadow kind of shading would be. Um, for the tail, there wasn't much of the tail that I could work with, so I just did like a basic kind of around the edges kind of shadow effect going on there. Um, and then continuing with the free tones, obviously you need free tones to have it a free tone. I then get a lighter color than the original color and just basically go over where I think all the reflections would be, which you will see me doing in a little while. So yeah, where I think all the lighting would be bouncing off of. So yeah, I then put like little reflection bits on the boobs. You know how you see that in anime and it's like, wow, look at those boobs, wow. Um, for the fins, I just continued with the little shadings here and there, like in the like where basically the flaps would be. That's where you kind of put the shade. I don't know how to explain it, but that's just what I did in my head. With the rocks, I didn't go into deep. I didn't really go into too much detail with the background. I just put in reflection lights with the bubbles and then deleted the outside. But yeah, so this is what I ended up with. Thanks for watching, like and subscribe. And yeah.